If you want to learn how to grow your YouTube channel fast in 2018, stick around because I'm going to show you exactly what you should be focused on right now to make sure that happens in 2018 and beyond. And don't forget, if you want to continue to build a foundation for YouTube success, make sure you're subscribed to the channel and you click that bell notification icon so you don't miss a thing. Hi and welcome to Creator Fundamentals. My name is Dan Currier and I am here to help you build a foundation for YouTube success. So, how do you grow your channel fast in 2018? Well, here's the thing. If you want to grow faster in 2018, there's some stuff you should be doing right now to make sure that happens. There's a number of different topics that we're going to cover in the coming videos, but today we're going to focus on branding. Let's get started. Alright, so we're going to talk about branding. What exactly is branding? Well, if you're not familiar what branding actually means, it has to do with the look and feel and the message that's being sent by your channel art, thumbnails, and channel icon. So what we're going to talk about today is how you work on creating those in such a way that they all work together to share your message and let everybody know what your channel is all about. Alright, so one of the common problems that I see with channels, especially on small channels or new channels, is the channel art and your thumbnails and the icon all seem to have been created with no consideration for each other. So that's the one thing you want to avoid. You want to make sure that all of those things are designed together. So you want to find a way to tie them all together and share a common color scheme, a logo, the design, everything working together to illustrate, to present the content that is on your channel and make people interested enough to either click on your videos or subscribe to your channel. Alright, so another issue that I tend to see on channel art specifically is that people tend to go way overboard. They either pay somebody to create some elaborate design or, they do some type of design themselves that has so much going on in the background, it's really hard to focus on what the channel is actually about. So whenever possible, you can certainly lean towards the more simplistic approach, find yourself a consistent color, and then add some text to your channel that identifies exactly what you're doing. If you're a gaming channel who uploads on Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, consider adding that to your channel. But again, your channel art, the purpose of your channel art is when that person's watching one of your videos and they're considering subscribing and they hop over to your main channel page, they want to be able to determine exactly what you're all about quickly. And so you want to keep that in mind when you're designing your channel art. Either have a solid color in the background or some type of design that is related to the content that you're making. And then you want to make sure that you add some text that explains exactly what you're all about. A big mistake that I see a lot of small YouTubers making are looking at big YouTubers, with millions of subscribers who may have channel art that's just a picture that doesn't say anything else. Well, newsflash, they're big YouTubers. Everybody already knows who they are, so they don't have to do that kind of stuff on their channel art. But if you are just starting out or you have a small channel, you really want to do everything you can to walk that viewer right up to that subscribe button, help them put their finger on the button, and get them to subscribe to your channel. Alright, so for your channel art, if you are not artistic or familiar with designing a channel art, you can actually use a website like canva.com. There's some other ones out there. You can do a search and probably find a couple different ones, but canva.com is a fairly decent one, can allow you to get something that looks clean and neat and tells everybody exactly what you are all about. Otherwise, if you are comfortable doing some design, there is a template out there that shows you exactly how big the channel art should be. I'll put a link in the description down below to get you that. You can put that in GIMP or Photoshop or whatever you actually use as a guide to help you make sure that your channel art is within the defined area. Alright, so the next thing I want to talk about is thumbnails. Thumbnails are super important because that's what the viewer is going to see first, and that's what's going to make them choose whether or not to actually click on your video to watch. So your thumbnails want to be engaging and you want them to draw the attention of somebody who's scrolling through videos. I like to look at the thumbnail as a companion opinion to your title. You don't have to repeat the entire contents of your title. You basically want your thumbnail to slow down that person who may be scrolling through their phone or checking out YouTube on their PC, and get them to narrow in on your content long enough to read your title and decide between the thumbnail and the title whether or not your video is worth watching. So with that said, you want something that is catchy but not overly complicated. You don't want a million words on your thumbnail. You want to make sure that text that you do put on your thumbnail is high contrast, so you don't want to put dark colors over a dark photo, etc. It's important that you make sure that the design that you've created looks good on a very small scale, because ultimately that is how a lot of people will be viewing it. So if you start to find yourself putting 10 words on a thumbnail, you're probably headed in the wrong direction. But instead of repeating the contents of your title, try to think about the topic that is in your video and come up with a catchy way that draws attention and gets people to click. Now, if you're someone who appears in your video, like myself here on Creator Fundamentals, you want to make sure to include your face on your thumbnail. YouTube recommends it. It is statistically proven to drive more people to your videos when you have your face on your thumbnail. Now, the other thing to keep in mind when talking about branding is that your face is part of your branding. So we talked earlier about how to set up your channel art, finding a consistent color theme. Your channel art could be as simple as picking a color, explaining what you do, and putting your face on the channel art. And then you want to make sure, as I mentioned, that you also put your face on your thumbnails. Now, just to note, when you're doing that, it's a generally good idea to keep your face on the right side of the thumbnail and your text on the left side of the thumbnail. That way that none of your text gets covered by the timestamp that is placed on all the thumbnails when people are viewing them. And the timestamp is a little bit bigger on the mobile thumbnails, so it can obscure some of your text if you put it on the right side of your thumbnail. And last but not least, your channel icon. One of the things that I see a lot are the channel icons or some random picture that has nothing to do with any of your branding and doesn't match anything. You really want your channel art, your thumbnails, and your icon to all look like they belong together. They're all designed with a similar theme, and it really carries the overall branding of your channel in that icon. So to do that, you can do it a couple different ways. As we discussed already, if you are somebody who appears in your videos, your channel icon could very well just be a picture of you. This is helpful because when you're out commenting on other people's videos, that is what they see. They don't see your channel art, they don't see your thumbnails, obviously, they see your icon. So again, if you're somebody, if you're part of your brand, if your face is in your videos, then you can strongly consider using your face as the channel icon. Now, one of the things that we talked about in trying to carry your branding from your channel art down into your thumbnails could be as simple as making your channel icon your face and then including that icon on your thumbnails. I mean, there are some more in-depth ways to do to bring that branding into your thumbnail. But if you're just getting started and you want a way to keep it simple but identify your videos as yours, that's certainly a way that you can get started. Okay, so one of the ways to think about your branding and kind of tie it all together is considering the purpose that each portion of your branding serves. Your channel art is there to get people to subscribe to your channel. You do that by communicating what your channel is about and why they should subscribe. So think about that when you're designing your channel art and ask yourself, does this design encourage a viewer to subscribe to my channel? Now, your thumbnails are there to get people to stop in their tracks, see your content, read your title, and then check out your video. If you can't do that, then getting to the important things like watch time will never happen because people will pass right by your video. So you want that thumbnail to get their attention, you want it to pop, you want it to stand out when compared to other thumbnails that you are competing against. If you're not familiar what the thumbnails of other videos that you're up against look like, one of the things you can do is sign up for Morning Fame. And each time you upload a video, in 24 hours you will receive an email that shows you the other thumbnails that you're actually competing against, and that'll help you decide whether or not your thumbnails are effective. And the icon is the mini you. It is the image that appears when you comment, when you're out there trying to build community and interacting with other YouTubers. That's what people see. So again, if your face is something that is in your videos, consider putting your face in that icon so other people can become familiar with you, see you in live streams, see you commenting on their videos, and help you build that community and relationship between your face and your content. So I think that covers it for now. I think that's a lot for you guys to work on, so you can definitely let me know where you stand with your branding. Do you like what your branding looks like right now? Let me know in the comments below. If you have any specific questions about the content that I've covered today, you can let me know down there as well. I'll definitely answer those. And I think that's going to wrap it up for now. I appreciate you taking the time to watch this video. If you would like to continue to build a foundation for YouTube success, make sure you've clicked that subscribe button and the bell notification icon, and let's get started on growing your channel. That's all the time we have for today. My name is Dan Currier, and you're watching Creator Fundamentals. Thank you.